All right, welcome back to Broncos Country Tonight. Thrilled to be joined by Graham Glasgow, one of the new additions to the Broncos, added in free agency. How you doing, Graham?
I'm doing really well. How are you today?
We're doing great. How has how's this offseason gone for you, at least this portion now with virtual offseason training? How has that gone?
I think it's been going pretty well. I mean, we've been meeting with our position groups, and I've gotten to meet a lot of the guys. I mean, albeit it's not really face-to-face or anything like we would be normally doing around this time of year. I think it's definitely nice to get to talk to those guys and kind of get a feel for who they are and what I've gotten myself into.
Well, coming into this thing, one of the things they talked about with the Broncos is versatility on the offensive line. You've, of course, played a lot of reps at 3 different positions on the offensive line. What was your favorite spot to play?
I like it's hard for me to say that because I do like the aspect of the center stuff of like making the calls and kind of running the show in that regard. But I do think that it's nice to I really do like the aspect of guard where I'm able to just go out there and play and not have to worry about it and let somebody else do it. So I would say probably guard. I really like playing right guard this past year, and I'm excited to be doing that again.
So back to the virtual offseason, the one thing I think that's come up a lot on our show is about getting timing down with the offensive line, building that cohesive unit. It's kind of hard to do over virtual reality, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I think that at this point in time, we're really just kind of going over more the assignments of everything. Like we have a new offensive coordinator, and there is a little bit of carryover from what I can understand so far. But I'm learning a new scheme, and it seems like there's a little bit of new stuff that everybody else needs to learn. So learning the X's and O's at this point in time, I feel like is just as beneficial as getting that timing down that you just referenced.
Well, definitely. You guys are not – virtual offseason is not code for dudes getting together to play Madden, right?
No, it's not. That would be a good idea, though. I think that I'll take that up with the NFLPA, see if we can't get that done. But
I'm an ideas man. I'm here for you.
Good. Yeah. So that's not it. And I mean, I think that while that would be fun, this is definitely good to get to meet, as I said, everybody and the coaches and kind of get a feel for who they are.
Coming back to meeting the coaches, what's your early impression of Mike Munchak?
He seems really cool. I mean, I think that he's at his I mean, I can understand why a lot of people have really, really enjoyed playing for him in the past. He seems to be like he's almost like an educator. He goes about it like in a very, very efficient way. And I think that the way that he teaches it makes a lot of sense. And I mean, I haven't really gotten out there and been able to do anything physically, but so far I think everything has been really good. And I can already tell that I really enjoy playing for him.
Cushenberry there in the 3rd round. What advice can you impart to the new young Buck center?
Get in the playbook, learn the plays, because he's gonna. I mean, I don't mind helping every once in a while, but if I have to make all the calls, I wouldn't really like that. So get in the playbook, learn the plays, and me and Dalton will help you out as much as we can. And I think that's going to be a pretty sizable amount. So I mean, a lot of stuff comes with experience, but we'll kind of be there to help him along the way.
Can he realistically be a starter on this offensive line this year? I mean, let's just, for example, at center, if you're going to be playing guard, can he ramp up fast enough for that? I mean, what is that ultimately tied to?
Well, I think that part of it, well, I don't really know the composition of the room too good right now and how everything with that is. I don't know if a guy that's here will step up and become that guy, or whether he's going to be that guy or what they want. But I think that what it comes down to is he has the experience of making the calls and doing all that stuff in the past. And I think that in itself is enough to get him off the ground. And I think from there he'll learn a little bit on the job, but I think that he'll do just fine.
Just a really quick follow-up on that. I wanted to know kind of what does college experience do, at least for him, playing in the SEC, playing at LSU, national championship? What does that even mean necessarily as it relates to becoming a pro?
Well, when I say that, I think that part of being a pro is knowing your job and doing it. And I think that effectively they, at the college level, did it to the highest degree. And I think that, and I mean, their offensive line was what, the top offensive line in the country? What was that? The Joe Moore Award? So, I mean, I think that a lot of that you can place on making sure everybody's going in the same direction, everybody's rowing the same direction. So, in that regard, I'm saying I feel like you have that experience, particularly at center. I think that will help him out a lot when he gets into Denver and we're getting going.
What's the biggest thing that Graham Glasgow brings to this team?
I think I'm tough, and I think that I can. I think that I look at things a little bit differently. I'm very, very technique oriented, and I like the details. And I think that that's part of what makes offensive line so awesome. That it's not about the big swings and the home runs. It's about chipping away at somebody every single play, and that in itself building until you've not only defeated the man across from you, but you've won the game. And I think that in itself is something that I can bring to the table for us.
So we asked you about Lloyd Cushenberry, drafted in the 3rd round, but the first 2 picks were 2 speedy guys in Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler. How kind of excited is that offensive room right now?
I mean, it seems like we've added a lot of speed, as you said, and I think that just being able to stretch the field and have guys running down the field will only make the running lanes bigger. And when we get big plays on offense, that really demoralizes the defense. So, I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. I thought that the draft went awesome.
What's the biggest goal for Graham Glasgow this year?
I like to look at things a little bit more personally and go about them in that regard. But I think that if I can play the best football of my career this year, I would be happy. And I know that, being like playing in Detroit, I know that in some regards, like Pro Bowls and stuff are not an indication usually, like it can be an indication of good play, but I know it's not always. So, I mean, I just want to play the best football I can play and make sure that that's the best of my career so far.
How can this offensive line help Drew Lock get off to a fast start, knowing what is ahead of you guys here in the offseason, maybe potentially even a shortened training camp? We don't know yet, but what can this offensive line do their best to help out Drew Lock?
Well, I mean, at the forefront of it, I think that making sure that we're rock solid in protection and making sure that the front of the pocket stays, give him like 3 yards from the front of the pocket. That's really important. That's basically the whole interior's job, and making sure that the edges don't get collapsed. We really just need to make sure that the protection is there. And I mean, there will be the occasional breakdown, but from what I've seen and what I've heard, this guy can make something with his feet, and he can go out there and be dynamic. And I think that that's part of what is making a lot of the fans really, really excited.
All right, Graham. Well, thank you very much for the time. Again, welcome to the Broncos.